That evening, Paul experiences even greater discomfort from his urinary infection and suffers nearly constant pain. He plans to visit the doctor the following day once the new inmate at the prison has been brought in. That's a very good decision taken by Paul, right? Okay, let's get back to the story. Percy and Harry head to the mental hospital to bring back Warden, who seems to be in a trance, likely due to medication. Upon entering the mile, Warden immediately comes alive, evidently feigning his drug-induced stupor. He catches the guards off guard with a surprise attack and incapacitates Paul by delivering a knee strike to his groin. Well, that's one way to drop a guy. Anyways, Dean is almost strangled while Percy is rooted to the floor in shock, unable to step in despite Paul's pleas for assistance. At last, Brutus enters and escorts Warden away. Paul encourages the others to promptly report the incident to the authorities and visit the medical facility. Meanwhile, he volunteers to maintain his position at the mile. After the others depart, he crumples in pain. Following this, John Coffey requests a conversation with Paul. Despite considerable effort, Paul approaches John's cell. However, John seizes him and places his hand over Paul's groin area. Looks like Paul's day just went from bad to worse. John grips tightly for several seconds until the lights abruptly intensify. Afterward, he releases his grip and suddenly starts coughing and gasping as a cloud of spores, like gnats, emanates from his mouth and vanishes into the air. Paul asks about the events, but John can only muster a response: "I helped." Fatigue overwhelms him and he drifts off to sleep. Later, when Paul goes to the restroom, he experiences no pain whatsoever. Oh boy, I was entirely wrong about the big guy. John Coffey's intervention has effectively cured his infection. Returning home, Paul feels entirely rejuvenated, spending nearly the entire night making love to his wife. The following morning, Paul calls in sick to work but heads into town to meet with John Coffey's public defender, Bart Hammersmith, who handled his trial. Paul expresses skepticism regarding Coffey, no longer convinced that a person as kind and gentle as he could have committed such a heinous crime. And so far, I do not see any other rebuttal to disagree with Paul. But on the other hand, Hammersmith is firmly convinced of Coffey's guilt, likening John to the dog that inexplicably attacked his own son one day.